Hey everyone, I'm really glad you're here today. Let's take a few minutes to talk about something huge, something that helps us understand the entire story of the Bible. Why did God abandon the old covenant and bring in a new covenant through Jesus? It might sound like a deep topic, but don't worry. We'll keep it simple, real, and connected to everyday life. The Bible talks about this change in Jeremiah 31:34, where God says, "The days are coming when I will make a new covenant with the people of Israel. It will not be like the covenant I made with their ancestors when I took them by the hand to lead them out of Egypt." And in the New Testament, Hebrews chapters 8 to 10 explain how Jesus fulfilled that promise. Hebrews 8:13 says, "By calling this covenant new, he has made the first one obsolete." That's powerful. God didn't just patch up the old one, he replaced it with something better. Think of it like upgrading from a flip phone to a smartphone. The old one worked, but it couldn't handle everything you need today. The new one connects you, updates automatically, and has features that change the game. That's what God did. He didn't destroy the old, he completed it. He made something better, deeper, and more personal. The new covenant wasn't a backup plan. It was the real plan all along. So what does that actually mean? The old covenant was basically God's first agreement with his people, the one given through Moses at Mount Sinai. It came with laws, sacrifices, and detailed rules about what made someone clean or unclean. Think of it like an old operating system. It worked for a time, but it had bugs, updates, and restarts. You had to keep offering sacrifices for sin over and over again. Every year, every mistake meant another offering. People couldn't live up to it perfectly. It revealed how holy God was and how much we needed help. The system itself wasn't bad. It just couldn't change the human heart. It could clean your hands, but not your soul. Then Jesus came. The new covenant through him was like God sending a completely new update, one that fixed what the old system couldn't. Instead of rules written on stone tablets, God now writes his law on our hearts. Instead of priests offering sacrifices daily, Jesus offered himself once for all time. The old system was external, about following commands from the outside. The new one is internal, about transformation from the inside out. It's the difference between trying to memorize every street name in your city versus having GPS built right into your phone. One is exhausting and easy to mess up. The other guides you from within. That's the kind of life Jesus invites us into. Now let's make this real. Imagine living your whole life by checking off a never-ending list of do's and don'ts. That's how the old covenant worked. It's like using a phone with 2% battery, always running low, always needing to plug back in. But the new covenant is like getting a phone with an unlimited battery. The power source is built in. That's the Holy Spirit living inside you. Under the old covenant, people were constantly trying to reach God by doing everything perfectly. Under the new covenant, God comes to you through Jesus. He meets you where you are and says, "I've got you covered." It's not about earning his love, it's about responding to his love. Think of it like trying to pay for Wi-Fi by doing chores when Jesus already paid for the full data plan. All you have to do is connect. No more lag, no more dead zones. The connection is always open. And that's the point. The old covenant showed people how much they needed grace, and the new covenant delivered it. Grace isn't a backup battery, it's the main power line. You don't recharge it, you live from it. The Bible gives us several verses that describe this shift clearly. Jeremiah 31:34. God promises a new covenant. Ezekiel 36:26-27. God says he'll give us a new heart and his spirit. Matthew 26:28. Jesus says, "This is my blood of the new covenant." Hebrews 8:6. Jesus is the mediator of a better covenant. Romans 8:3-4. The law couldn't save us, but God did through his Son. All of this shows that God wasn't changing his mind. He was fulfilling his plan. The old system was a shadow. Jesus was the reality. Think of it like those preview versions of a movie that show short clips. The old covenant gave a preview, glimpses of what was coming. But when Jesus arrived, the full story was finally revealed. Through his death and resurrection, he opened the way for us to be forgiven once and for all. No more animals on altars, no more repeating sacrifices. He became the perfect offering. That's why the curtain in the temple tore when Jesus died. It was God's way of saying, Access granted. That's what makes Christianity different. It's not a list of rules, it's a living relationship. It's not about trying to climb up to God, it's about God coming down to us. Even so, we sometimes still live like we're under the old system. We try to earn God's love, check off spiritual boxes, and carry guilt like heavy luggage. But God's message through the new covenant is simple and freeing. You are forgiven. You are mine. Live from love, not for love. It's not about trying harder. It's about trusting deeper. If the old covenant was about performance, the new covenant is about relationship. So take a deep breath. You don't have to keep proving yourself to God. You just have to stay connected to Him, like staying online with a strong signal. When you mess up, you don't need another sacrifice. You just come back to Jesus. He's already paid it all. That's grace, a never-ending data plan that never cuts you off. So why did God abandon the old covenant? Because it was never meant to be the final version. It was a temporary picture pointing to something greater, the love and grace of Jesus Christ. The old covenant said, do this and live. The new covenant says, live through me, and you will do this. I hope this helps you see God's heart a little clearer, not as a rule maker, but as a relationship builder. Thanks for spending this time with me. If this helped you, take a moment to reflect on what new means in your own life. New start, new grace, new covenant. God didn't abandon us. He upgraded the connection. See you next time.